Hallo Schüler, hallo Schülerinnen, willkommen in der Grammatikstube. Ich bin Herr K. und das ist Stevie. Hallo Stevie.
Hello. So, Herr K., we've been talking a lot about Familien and Familienmitglieder, and there's just one area that I would like to review, and that's words that show possession, like meine, deine, ihre.
Ah, the possessive pronouns.
Right. So I understand why they're called possessive, because they show possession, but why are they called pronouns?
Well, pronouns take the place of nouns. So that's what these words do. Let's have a look at an example, ein Beispiel. Okay, Beispiel. Udo's Vater trinkt Kaffee. Auf English?
Udo's father is drinking coffee. And something interesting here is that in English we have an apostrophe before the S to show possession, but in German they don't do that.
Right, you do not need an apostrophe. In fact, you don't use an apostrophe in German to show possession, so that's a difference. But what we're going to do now is in the next sentence, we're going to put a possessive pronoun in there to take the place of another word. Let's look at this. Sein Vater trinkt Kaffee. Auf English?
His father is drinking coffee.
Okay, Stevie, do you see where the possessive pronoun is in that second sentence?
Yeah, that would be sein.
Sein. And what word does it replace?
Udo.
It replaces Udo.
Right. So sein was the possessive pronoun in that sentence, and I mentioned a few before, but there are actually a lot of them, right?
Right. Let's have a look at a list of those pronouns. Possessive pronouns in German. Mein,
My,
dein,
your,
sein,
his,
gut, ihr,
her,
gut, sein,
its,
unser,
ours,
euer,
yours,
ihr
their,
und ihr.
your, formal.
Right, and that's capitalized.
Right. Right, so I recognize those words, but sometimes they take different endings, right?
That's right. You might see meine, you might see mein, meiner, meinem, meinen.
Right.
Okay, do you have any, you want to guess what the ending depends on?
Well, I know that every noun in German has its gender, so I would probably guess that it has something to do with the gender of the noun that it precedes, that it comes before.
Das ist richtig. Okay, it has to do with the gender and another factor, but the gender is important, the gender and or number. So let's look at a Beispiel here.
Right.
Okay, that was the example that we looked at earlier, and of course we have an example with Vater, and the gender of Vater is masculine. But what if we would change the word Vater? Let's take Vater out of the picture and put Mutter in there.
Right.
Okay, we're going to put Mutter. Now look how that changes the ending of the possessive pronoun. What happens,
Right.
Stevie?
So now it has an E ending, so instead of sein we have seine.
That's right.
So the possessive pronoun can actually give us a little information about the gender of the nouns.
Richtig. It gives us information about the gender and or number of the noun, but it also depends on another factor. And let's look at an example and see if you can guess what that is.
Right.
Okay. Ich trinke oft Kaffee mit Udos Vater.
I often drink coffee with Udo's father.
Gut. Now look at this sentence. Ich trinke oft Kaffee mit seinem Vater.
And that's, I often drink coffee with his father.
Where's the possessive pronoun on that?
That would be seinem.
Seinem. And the ending?
Is an EM.
Do you know why that ending is EM?
Well, as I said before, it's partially because of the gender, but there's something else going on here too. Is it because of the case?
Because of the case. That preposition mit always takes dative case. The possessive pronoun is always going to show you the gender and the case of the noun that it comes before.
So I know that possessive pronoun endings have to do with gender, number, and case. So this is all sounding really familiar. Do these correspond with article endings?
That's right. They correspond to the indefinite articles. They're actually, possessive pronouns are called ein words because they correspond with the indefinite articles.
Right, indefinite articles. So Definite articles mean the, like der, die, and das. And then I remember indefinite articles mean a, and those are like ein and eine.
Right, and that's why the possessive pronouns are called ein words. Let's look at the indefinite articles. Indefinite articles. So we're going to start with the nominative, Stevie, the subject case. Here are some examples. Ein Junge, eine Frau, ein Kind. And what are the genders for those?
The first one is masculine, and then feminine, and then neuter.
Right, and we've got one other thing to consider, and it's not gender, but it's number. What's that?
Plural.
Plural, and we can't say for something plural. We can't say shoes or people. We have to say keine. So
Right.
keine Kinder. Kein is a ein word. It follows the same ending that ein does. And that's exactly what the possessive pronouns do. If we take these eins off of here and put a possessive pronoun like mine, you'll see they have the exact same endings. Mine, meine, mine, and meine. We're going to do this for the rest of the cases, the accusative case and the dative case. Now, we'll put them down real quick here, all the ein words there. What we can do is we can substitute mine wherever there's an ein, and you'll see that the ending is exactly the same. All right, so possessive pronouns take the exact same ending as the ein word does.
Right.
Okay, so to summarize, Stevie, what could we say about possessive pronouns?
Well, we learned that they show the gender and also the number of the noun that they precede.
Right, okay.
And they also show the case.
The case, okay. And we could also say that they behave like indefinite articles. They are ein words, so they follow the same endings that the ein words would.
Genau.
Okay, so sollen wir mit der Aufgabe anfangen?
Ja.
Ja. Okay, Schüler. Übersetzen Sie ins Deutsche. You've got 6 sentences to translate into German, and you should use those words in the box at least once for each, and maybe for some of them more than once. And there's lots of possessive pronouns in these sentences, Stevie. Do you see them in English, some of the possessive pronouns?
Yeah, definitely. Like your, my, her, their.
There's all kinds of possessive pronouns. So, Stevie, they're going to have to pay attention to the translation, what is your, for example, in German. And they're also going to have to pay attention to the ending, right?
Right. You want to make sure that you have the right gender, the right case.
Right gender in the right case. Now, the dative case is going to come up for any word that's after a mit, a with, or a word like zu, a dative pronoun. One other thing, Stevie, they've got to be careful with the use of you and your, because in German, your can be plural, right? So there's a difference between deine, and what's the plural of deine? Do you know?
Eure.
Eure is the informal, right? And the formal would be ihre, of course. So pay attention to that, Schüler. Okay, das war alles. Tschüss.
Tschüss.